It's Thursday, which means it's time for our friend Adam Chernoff from Right Angle Sports. I want to begin with a very simple question that might not have a simple answer, Adam. Who is the best team in the NFL right now? Do we know that through 3 weeks?
No simple answer. That's an easy answer. It's the Chiefs. What's the debate?
Is Buffalo better? Are the Lions better in terms of power rating? That's all I mean.
No, it's Kansas City won, and then the rest is a bit murky to figure out. But it's without a doubt Chiefs won. Here's what I'll say about the Bills: they've been impressive in spite of new defensive coaches at multiple levels, a new DC, a new offensive coordinator in the full-time role, 4 or 5 new wide receivers. It's been great. Now, a little bit competition aided to this point, I think is a fair statement to make. Kansas City's got 3 great shots from 3 solid teams, and now it's doing it without guys they expected to have in Hollywood Brown, and you lose Pacheco. And to me, it's a no doubter that the Chiefs are one. The Bills have been very impressive, but let's see if they get through a big test with the Ravens this week.
That's more what I meant with the injuries and the guys like Kelsey not performing. Obviously, Mahomes is the best player in the world, but he's doing it without a lot of his weapons. So I just wondered if that was enough to bring them down. Let me run this forward here. Where is San Francisco now, and how tough are they to price? Because you're talking about a team, again, potentially without McCaffrey and Debo, and maybe Kittle plays, but that team is as banged up as it gets. And Hargrave is also out on the defensive side of the ball. How tough is it to price the Niners?
It's a little bit challenging. I think they're firmly number 3 in the NFL. And what I would say about San Francisco is I don't think we've seen them at their peak yet, even without the injuries. I know they look good week 1 against the Jets, but realistically, if we're thinking about that game, that was a very late switch to where the CMC news came in. But we've seen Trent Williams not go through camp. He needs IVs at halftime to kind of make it through these games. Brandon Ayuk has clearly not been himself yet. George Kittle has been in and out of the lineup. Their best cornerback, Ward, has been in and out of the lineup. They just got Hufanga back last week. So the 49ers are a team that I think is firmly number 3 right now in the ratings, but they're still upside despite those injuries because they've been playing with guys in weird situations. And so I think this week against the Pats is probably the first, I want to say, like full strength in terms of all of these guys being ready. I know Samuel won't play, but like this, there's still ceiling here with the 49ers.
I want to ask you about a game here, and then we'll get to your picks at the end. 273, 274, Rams and Bears. I know that your group likes the Bears and bet them at a better number. I was talking about it on the morning show this week. I like the Bears at -2 and -2.5. You got a better number than I did. I would still never take the Rams at 3. I don't like their team. I'm extremely low on their offensive line. No Kupp, no Nakua. And I still don't think, Adam, it's a bad idea. People are going to look for bets. I don't think a Cowboys-Bears money line parlay at +135 is the worst idea in the world. But talk to me about Chicago here. You guys are high on them, at least in this spot.
Do you want more Bears talk here? Or do you want more Rams talk? I know Chicago focus here. Where do you want to go?
Take it wherever you want, buddy.
Okay, so from the Rams side, the big issue is the defense. And when you have a game like last week where you come back to win against San Francisco, the head coach, Sean McVay, should be praising the comeback and praising what happened on offense. It turned out that he was criticizing what happened on defense. Through 3 weeks, they're dead last in yards per play allowed. That's a big problem that they've masked incredibly well in spite of offensive injuries. So that's a concern going forward amid all the injury issues they have on offense. In this game, I agree with you. We did play the Bears. I would even advocate that I would still lean that way at 3. I'm not going to double dip and add on to a better number taken. I think the Bears offense this week looks better than they have in any other week. And that's actually setting a relatively high bar because Williams last week, if you take out the pre-halftime Hail Mary, still threw for 315 yards. The issue for Chicago is they just have not been very explosive on a per play basis. This week, they're going to really go back to the run game. They're going to lean on Johnson a lot more. And I think we'll see Williams in that like low 30s attempts range. And if Keenan Allen is back, it's now the Bears offense with all of the guys out there for the first time. I think they look really good this week. And it's quite honestly, Williams is improving week over week. So this is the spot for Chicago to make it all click.
It would never be Rams for me. Okay, let's move quick here. You got 2 bets. You're also going to tease these sides up. What do you got?
Yeah, Sam, you didn't want to acknowledge the record at the start of the show, but it's down in the bottom left corner like a black eye on this side of the screen. Your record's looking awfully nice on the clip with John. So I'm trying to keep pace here. The teasers have cost me so far this season. We'll see if we get it right. So I got 2 this week. I like the Colts plus 1.5, and I like the Bucks plus 2. So I'll play both sides, and then I'll play a teaser on top of it. Colts to 7.5. Buccaneers to 8 on the teaser. So Colts for me, a very good offense that I think might actually be a touch underrated because I don't see them being discussed, nor do I see them being priced like a team that is second in yards per play generated on offense through 3 weeks. It's been very explosive. They've just caused a lot of issues inside the red zone that have hurt themselves. I look on the other side of the football, and it's a Steelers offense that with Justin Fields has got 3 just nearly perfect games out of him for what they want to do. I don't buy into that being something that the Steelers sustain on a weekly basis going forward. And so this is a game of massive importance for the Colts at home that I think Shane Steichen gets right. For the Buccaneers, it's a team that I'm looking at backing as a home dog in a spot where their defense is going to get Vita Vea back. They didn't have him last week. That's incredibly important against an Eagles team that is very likely down wide receiver number 1 and wide receiver number 2 in Brown and Smith, who with the bye on deck, I would be shocked if they rush back. And so nothing's confirmed at this point. When we're talking, I'm willing to take the points with the Bucs at home and say those guys don't play. And again, I'm looking at this teaser, 2 home teams with explosive offenses playing 2 road teams that come in with either a very constrained offense or an offense that's going to be restricted down weapons, and I'm getting both of the home teams above 7. That's a teaser I like quite a bit. So I'll play both sides, and I'll play the teaser. Let's hope we get this record to 4-4 coming into next week's video.
I smell 3-0. I smell it.
Well, I'll take 2-1, but I mean, we're kind of in that swing week here where there's people watching. It goes south, and these get a lot tougher to do on a weekly basis. So have had a bad break or 2 coming through, but let's hope for that 3-0 you're smelling.
It all comes out in the wash. That's Adam Chernoff from Angle Sports. We'll see you next week, buddy.
See you later.